Sucio Talk, you bitch-ass motherfuckers. Jason Grubbs. That's his real name. It's not like his Instagram handle. Granddaddy Grubbs. So is that where you're from?
My family's from there.
Oh, got it.
So,
That's very cool.
Yeah, my dad was in the military. We moved all around the South.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
That's fucking nuts. But where are you now? What are you doing right now?
Right now I'm down in Santa Cruz.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the chef de cuisine at Mentone.
Mentone,
Mm-hmm.
David Kinch.
Yes.
Right. Do you rub elbows with him a lot?
About every day.
About every day.
Yes.
I guess he's there more because Manresa is not a thing.
Manresa is not a thing. They've turned it into a ritual.
Uh-huh.
And so they'll bring in 2- and 3-star chefs for a month at a time with
Yeah.
their restaurant. And,
Oh, that's dope.
They come into the Manresa kitchen and put on the show for a month.
Put on a straight clinic.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome, dude. Which restaurants have you done so far?
We've had Odette, the Atomics.
Oh,
was
that's
there.
dope.
Yeah, they came, and then they come into Mentone for like a night just to have dinner.
Yeah.
And we pretty much do like a 4 or 5 course tasting menu, family style, where we just send everything out.
I hear that, baby. Charter Oak style.
Yeah.
You know, just fucking crush them. That's cool, man.
Mm-hmm.
How does it feel, man? Last time I saw you, you were an intern at the CIA.
I was. It's been almost 10 years.
Yeah.
Long time.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's been a long journey.
Yeah, you got the tattoo finished.
I did.
I was there when it was an outline.
Yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
That's cool, man. So let's take it all the way back. Let's start from the beginning. Where were you born?
Columbus, Georgia.
Columbus, Georgia. Okay. What'd your parents do?
My dad did 28 years as a colonel in the Army, and my mom was a nurse.
Okay, so a very militaristic upbringing.
Very much so.
Right, you got siblings?
A sister.
A sister.
Mhm.
Okay, got you.
She's
Older, younger?
Younger. She's a child's victim advocate.
Okay.
For pretty much when children go to have to go to court because they were abused, neglected, things like that. She is their voice in the courtroom.
Okay. Yeah, that's some pretty serious
It's
shit.
rough. She's tough.
Yeah, you got a
She's
serious
tough.
family.
Mm-hmm.
God damn. And so when you were younger, what were you like? Were you like into sports or anything? Were you
Sports,
nerdy?
I was all over.
Right,
all
right.
into everything.
Baseball, basketball,
Yeah.
wrestling?
A little bit.
Okay.
Just a little bit. Football, track was
Yeah.
my big thing.
What was food like at home? Was your mom cooking?
My mom was a great cook. Pretty much both my grandparents had farms, so we had all kinds of fresh vegetables, preserved vegetables, canned foods, things like that. But my mom was always trying to. She made breakfast for us every morning, then went to work, came home at night, made dinner, and it was always. She's a great cook. It was delicious.
That's dope, man. Fuck yeah. So you're introduced to good food early, part of your upbringing. Do you have any relation to cooking at the time? Are you watching chef shows? Do you even care at that moment?
At the time, no, not really.
Yeah.
It wasn't until I got out of the Navy.
Right.
And kind of my life fell apart after that. Couldn't put kind of one day in front of another.
Right.
And ended up reading Kitchen Confidential.
Right.
And I just remember being like, I'm going to go see what this is about, see what's going on. And kind of fell into kitchens, and it allowed, help give me the structure that I really needed. And I could put one day in front of another that way.
Dope. Okay. So when you're young, is it a plan for you to go into the armed forces because of your dad?
I don't think it was a plan, but it was like after 9/11. My dad was in the military. I was super headstrong, gung ho.
Yeah.
They didn't want me to do it, so I feel like that drove me to do it.
Right.
Even more.
What year was this when you enlisted?
2005.
I got you. Navy?
Navy.
Okay. Did you have a conflict of what branch you wanted to be a part of? Or were you like Navy's?
At the time, I wanted to be a Navy SEAL.
Yeah.
I was like, that's what I want to do. My uncle was a Navy SEAL, and wanted to follow in that kind of that path.
Yeah.
Ended up getting injured, blew out my knee, and that didn't happen.
Okay.
So ended up becoming a rescue swimmer and
shit.
a medic.
Okay. Rescue swimmer, medic. And so rescue swimmer, like for just normal ass shit, like people like stuck out in the middle of nowhere and shit like that. Okay, got you.
Yeah.
Working with like the Coast Guard and shit like that.
The Navy. So with
Gotcha.
the Navy's got their own rescue swimmers.
Oh shit. Okay,
Yeah.
got you. Is there like a turf, or like do you guys both show up?
So the Coast Guard pretty much monitors right around the coast,
Right.
And the Navy's worldwide.
Got it. Okay, that's the main
Yeah,
difference.
we're
Okay.
all over.
So there's like, they're like 100 feet out, and they're like, oh shit, can't go there.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Navy. Okay, dope. Now I get it. So wait a minute, because people talk shit about the Coast Guard, but they got some badass dudes over there, right?
They have some. I was also part of like a counter drug intervention group, and Coast Guard was a part of it, and they have their own kind of like special forces drug team.
Yeah.
And they were pretty badass.
Damn, that's
They
crazy.
were pretty badass.
Okay.
Like rappelling from helicopters onto boats and things like that.
All
So it
types
was-
of shit.
Yeah.
That's pretty special. So how'd you blow out your knee?
Started playing football in high school.
Yeah.
My senior year. Just I got the ball, was running, no one hit me, and I went to plant my right knee, and my knee kept going, and I hit the ground. No one even touched me. So
Got you. God was
and
like,
then
no.
happened again when I was in the Navy, and that was just kind of the end of my high speed career, I guess.
What were you gonna do before your injury in the Navy? Be a Navy SEAL?
That was the plan.
Got you. And then once you're injured, what does the Navy have for you? The medic and the swimmer?
Medic and the swimmer. Ended up getting sent to the Naval Medical Center in San Diego. Worked in the ICU there for about 3 years.
Yeah.
So I was like a critical care medic at the time. So
Big trauma.
Yeah. So pretty much you can do everything that a nurse can except pull narcotics out of a Pyxis machine.
Right. God damn. So that's got to be pretty horrific to see.
It's didn't see a lot of combat, but I ended up taking care of a lot of people that came back, and that was what really gave me a time.
Did you feel lucky that your knee burst and you didn't go over there and you didn't come back this way?
Yes and no. I still would have liked to have, but ended up just taking care of people who were sick, injured, things that. And so yeah, that's one of my buddies that I played football with in high school. He was with the Marines in Afghanistan, ended up stepping on a landmine. He ended up getting sent to the hospital that I was at, and I was the guy that took care of it.
Jesus.
Took his leg clean off. So yeah.
Some rough shit over there. And so how many years were you
6.
6 years. So
6
you were
years.
seeing this for 6 years. When did you start to notice that it sort of was like fucking with you a little bit? Because it had to have.
During.
Yeah, during. Right.
Yeah. It affects your life, your relationships.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you end up trying to find things to help you go to sleep.
Right. Are you desensitized to like just normal life because you're seeing like the most extreme end?
Yes, you're always looking for extreme highs, extreme lows, because it's the only time you really feel a lot of things.
Right.
So.
And did you go to drugs? Were you just like?
Not while I was in.
Yeah.
It pretty much because they do drug tests all the time.
Right.
So alcohol was a big thing.
Right. And it's probably, all of you in the unit.
Everybody.
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody.
Yeah. There's no, do they give you options with what to cope with?
Yeah, at the time, pretty much a lot of people were going to see like the hospital psychiatrist. And yeah, so I knew more people that committed suicide than I knew that died in combat.
Jesus. What's the percentage of like saving somebody once they get to the spot where you're at, to where you're taking care of them? Because like they got them a long way out of the battlefield
compared to Vietnam.
Right.
We're at like 99%.
Oh, okay, got you.
So it's very high. But by the time you get to me, you're in rough shape. It's where you're one-on-one with this patient for weeks, months even. So a lot of the nurses, medics end up developing kind of relationships with the patients. And I remember one of the patients was with this nurse for months, and he ended up passing.
Yeah.
And she had developed feelings.
Yeah. You see that a lot.
Play
out a lot, yeah.
And she ended up going and jumping off the Coronado Bridge.
Jesus. It's harsh stuff.
Yeah. And it's, these people, you're friends with them. You spend 12 plus hours a day with them. So it's a lot.
And so after 6 years, were you finally like, I'm done?
I was done. I couldn't do it anymore.
Cooked.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get that. And so at this point, you don't see any options, right? Because you're like, what am I going to do?
I got out and thought I wanted to be a doctor. Went to University of Missouri. About a year and a half, ended up dropping out just because I couldn't keep my days together, couldn't focus, didn't know how to be a kind of a person. From 17 until 24, you're told like what to do all the time, and now you've got days, weeks where you got to figure it out, and I couldn't do it.
Did you have people try to help you during that time? Or were you kind of shut into yourself?
I was really closed off. I was really, really closed off. I didn't know anybody. I had one best friend who he was a Green Beret, and so we got really close. But he ended up having his own thing and disappeared. Like, I don't know where he went.
To this day,
I cannot find him. And
So you've looked for him.
I've tried.
What's his name?
Dan Clark.
Dan Clark.
Yeah.
Where's he from?
Missouri.
Dan Clark from Missouri. If anybody knows where he's at, Jason Grubbs.
Let me know.
Yeah, that's dope.
So
we'll find him. We'll find him, man. Shit happens like that all the time. So how long did you go through this period of just like darkness?
Years.
Yeah.
Years. Just kind of struggled to deal with things. Started doing a lot of psychedelics.
Yeah.
That was, I would say, one of the few things that really helped.
Right.
Because you're sitting there, and when you're alone in your head with your problems for a couple hours, you're gonna work through shit.
Right.
You're gonna work through it
For sure.
and then you just become more accepting of yourself and the things that happened. Which I think everyone could use.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Did you find yourself doing too much psychedelics?
For sure.
Yeah.
You don't know where the line is until you get there.
Right. There's like I've gone through this too, where like, oh yeah, like, you're doing this and it feels good, right? And then after a while, you're like, start questioning reality. And you're like, I think
this was like when Inception came out. Yeah. And it was the first time that I took too much.
Yeah.
And I remember watching Inception while I did too much, and I remember thinking, like, am I stuck here? Like, is this? Am I gonna get out? Like,
yeah, that movie's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
To this day, I don't get it.
Yeah,
like I have no idea. I've gone on YouTube, like, please explain this movie to me because I have no idea what the fuck, A great movie.
Yeah,
I can't watch it more than once a year because that shit's really.
I haven't watched it in a while.
It hurts to watch because that last scene, you're like, they went That's just hard, bro. So when do you start to finally see some sunlight? You said Kitchen Confidential. How'd you find that book?
A friend of mine had read it, and he said some Anthony Bourdain quote about it was a chef's knife and how you need a large chef's knife. So he ended up getting it was like a Shun chef's knife, and I remember being like, wow, that's a nice knife. I'd never seen anything quite like that.
Yeah.
And so he's just like, yeah, this is from Anthony Bourdain, check it out. And I started reading it, and I was like, there's some strange people in this field. Like,
yeah,
I feel like I could check it out. So ended up going and working at a stadium bar and grill.
Yeah.
And it was a awful experience.
Okay.
Awful. Everything was fried. Everybody was
angry.
Asshole.
Yeah.
Such an asshole.
Yeah. Been working there for like 30 years.
Just upset.
Yeah,
just
mad.
upset.
Yeah.
So, ended up getting out of that and using my GI Bill to go to the CIA.
Okay.
In Napa Valley. Yep.
Did you have a choice to go to New York? CIA? Did you want to?
I could have, but Napa Valley just seemed better.
Right. Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. So you're out there. You're at the CIA. How is the CIA when you started? Where you're like, this is what I expected. I'm glad I paid this money.
I'm glad I paid. If I wouldn't have had the GI Bill,
yeah,
I don't know if that's the move, because it's like you're going there. It's the same cost as like a Harvard education.
Yeah, bro, that's just expensive.
It's unreal.
God
and
damn.
Then you get done, and now you're making. I mean, I remember in the Valley, I was making, it was like $12.50 an hour at this one Michelin star place, and I still had to pay $5 for family meal.
Yeah.
And
$5 for family meal, bro?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
That's whack.
Yeah.
Is this place still in existence?
Not anymore.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What's it called?
Terra.
Oh, Terra.
Loved Terra, Chef Hero. I love you.
Yeah.
But it was I wouldn't. Everything that I learned there.
You know, if it wasn't him, I would hate it.
Yeah.
But just because it's him, I'm like, you know what? Shout out to you, bro.
That man ran. Anyone who worked there is now doing really great things. And just how he managed money, inventory, labor, was I've taken it with me.
Fucking tight.
Yeah. Real tight.
That's crazy. Yeah, shout out to him and his wife. Beautiful restaurant, beautiful people. I think he still has his hands in some shit in St.Helena.
He's always
not sure
cooking.
what he does. Yeah, he's always doing something.
Yeah.
So you're up there, this experience. What are the classes like? What are they called? Who are the chefs? Because I know you had some pretty epic chefs up there. You had Chef Durfee.
Yep.
He was dope. I don't really know any other ones.
A lot of the chefs. They had a good many chefs that worked at the French Laundry. I mean, it felt like everyone in the Valley had worked at the laundry.
Right.
But Chef Durfee was a huge individual there.
Yeah.
They had certified master chefs.
Yeah.
Everyone who taught like the fundamentals of cutting and knife work and things like that were solid individuals.
Really.
So it set you up and got you started on the right foot.
Yeah.
But then at the time, I remember thinking, yeah, I want to be one of the best. You know, I'm going to go work at Meadowood. And you're not ready.
Right.
Like you think you could
they
be
put you in that cold room for about 12 hours.
I remember the first day I was there with Eloy.
Yeah.
And
Eloy.
it was
shout out to Eloy Perez.
Yeah. He's the only reason I made it.
Yeah.
I was having to peel sunchokes while keeping the skin on so that then I could wrap black cod.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting here like, I don't even know what I'm doing. And Eloy's like, dude, why are you so slow?
Yeah.
Like, this is amazing how slow you are. And so I'm nervous. I cut myself. And yeah. And I remember Costow and Chef Cat walk up.
Yeah.
And Chef Costa was just like, so what do you think, Eloy? Should we give him a chance? And he just kind of looks at me. He's like, yeah, I think we can give him a chance. So ended up helping out. Chef Cat called me one day and was just like, hey, do you want to come help Cameron.
Yeah,
Cameron
yeah.
with all the preservation
Cameron
work,
rates,
foraging.
Yeah. I do remember that was like your first gig over there.
Yeah,
bro.
that was the first one.
Yeah.
So I was I was going to the CIA and working there whenever I could.
Just what were some of the things you were doing with Cameron?
Preservation, fermentation, foraging, going out and trying to find anything. I remember all the fruits. I didn't know what streets in St. Helena were. I just knew what fruits I could get on them on each street.
Right.
And yeah.
Fucking, what is it? Supermarket foraging.
Yeah. I remember we'd get 50 pounds of pomelo, figs, all matsutakis, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, straight up.
And
shout out to
it was just getting there, being able to. First off, I should never have been there. I was not ready. You think that I'm going to be tough about this, and that's going to be enough. It's not. It's not.
No, definitely not.
It's not.
No. There's a certain mental fortitude that you need to fucking.
But if you're still trying to learn how to swing a knife, that's
definitely not.
It's not.
That's the major fucking leads, bro.
So it was a rough 20 months. Yeah, just trying to keep up. Someone would say something, and I'd be like, what is that? And then I would go and try and find what it was, Googling the entire time I'm running to get there, what this thing is. And, dude, it was stressful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure, man. It definitely is. It meant a lot to work there every day, which is more than I could say of any fucking job I've ever had since then, you know. It was just another level of some special shit for sure.
It's like I had never seen that level of commitment that it took to. I remember getting there at 6 a.m, and I think you guys came in at 1:32. And I remember you having your little yellow notebook that you had your prep list written down, and you come in there, and it's just like everyone had to move to their little corner of the cold room we had, so that. Richard, it was you and Richard. You were on grill, Richard was on fish. And it was just like, guys, you guys need to stop making a mess, stay on this side of the room. And so you're scared, you're just like these. You don't know what
fucking
you're doing.
Richard doing math.
Just talk. I'm just like, I remember he would start doing math, and I was like, is he talking to me? Is this guy talking to me?
He'd be like 4 5 6 8 12.
Just trying to make sure he got the portions right.
Just freaking the fuck out. Dude, one time I found him there like 3 o'clock in the morning prepping some shit.
I saw a lot of people there. Like I remember one time I was scared that I didn't feed the starter. I didn't do something right. And so I ended up going back to work.
You're in bed like.
Yeah. Like I got to go back up there and check on this. I get back up there like 12:31. Carl was in there prepping. Carl was in there prepping, and he was just like, "Shh,
don't say shit.
Don't tell anybody."
Yeah, we literally would wait outside in our cars
I
for Chef Kat and Chef John to leave, and then we would fucking roll in there and prep for like 2 more hours, and then just try to fucking. I would bring so much shit home with me, like so much shit home.
Yeah, I remember it was the fine brunoise of red bell peppers.
Yeah.
And I couldn't find
so much of that shit.
So it was so much. And
Lipsky,
so I would literally go
Lipsky.
home and pretty much buy red bell peppers and then sit there and just do the prep at my house. Because I was so scared. And then Miles would come up and be like, dude, this is fucking garbage. Like, what, like, don't give this, like, they're going to kill you. Like, no.
They're going to kill you.
Yeah. So...
It's so funny because it's so true, and we took it so fucking seriously. Sometimes I look back and I'm like, damn, I don't think I'll ever take anything as serious again, you know, like unless it's like fucking me going 3 Michelin stars, you know what I'm saying? It's just another level. I'm like, sometimes I miss it. I'm like, I need to go stage in 3 Michelin star restaurants just to like be in it sometimes because it's like infectious. You never have a place where all 80 people that work there are like, go
like a single mind. So
shout out to the team over there. Nathaniel Dorn, I want his ass on the show. That fucking guy's a loose cannon. but we need him on the show for sure. Crazy. So 20 months, you're at Meadowood, you're fucking exhausted. When did you leave?
I didn't leave. I got fired.
You got fired?
Oh yeah.
Oh, shit.
So you remember, it was Chef Cat was doing prep for Charter Oak.
Oh yeah, they were opening Charter Oak.
And
Yeah.
I remember Costello comes up and he's just like, Grubbs, you're gonna help her for the next period of time.
Yeah.
And poor Chef Cat, she got stuck with me. Like I don't know any other way of putting it. Like one of the best chefs in the country getting stuck with some kid still in culinary school.
Right.
She was upset. I knew it. And just tried to do the best that I could.
Right.
Yeah. And I don't remember what it was, but pretty much just wasn't good enough.
Right.
And Costello brought me in with Chef Cat and Chef John, and maybe Miles was in there. And Costello was just like, Grubbs, listen, man, like I like you, I do, but this just isn't just isn't working out.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah.
Fuck yeah. Did when that happened to you, did any of the old you come back?
Grubbs comes out.
Yeah, Grubbs.
There's Jason and then there's Grubbs. Grubbs is the dude who's got to do just the rough shit.
Right.
And I've got this thing that whenever something bad, crazy, life happens, I take a day.
Yeah.
Like you have one day to feel sorry for yourself. You can go get drunk, fucked up, whatever. You have one day. But then tomorrow, we're getting back after it.
Mm-hmm.
And so that day I went home, got turned, and I remember going to the library to print off my resume.
Yeah.
And I walked into the back door of Terra because I Googled the Michelin star restaurants in Napa Valley, and Terra was one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Walked in the back door, found Chef Hero. Was like, Chef, I want to come work here. Gave him my resume, and Jason, okay, we'll call you. And walked out the back. Ended up giving me a call back. I think it was like 3 days later to come in for a stage, and worked there for the next year.
Okay.
While I was there, as you remember at Meadowood, there we didn't have pastry chefs.
No.
So
us.
Yeah.
Except for that, like 6 months we had Tinder.
Yes.
But that was it.
Yeah. So I ended up using my GI Bill to go back and do the baking and pastry program at the CIA.
Shit.
While I was working at Terra.
Yeah.
Worked with 2 master bakers there that are legends, just legends.
Yeah.
And my classes switched from like morning to night, so I had to leave Terra. Then ended up going to work for Chef Massimo Fassini at Soul Bar.
Okay.
It was when I had 1 Michelin star still. And that kind of it ended up working with him later on.
Yeah.
And pretty much after I was done with the baking and pastry program, ended up doing my baking internship at Manresa Bread.
Mm-hmm.
And while I was there, they have the Bywater, which is Chef Kinch's ode to New Orleans.
Right.
And
is that the first time you met Tom?
That was where I met Tom.
Okay.
And
shout out Tom Ferdinand.
Tom Ferdinand, we love you.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
And Tom. So I thought Tom was the chef.
Yeah.
And he was the sous chef at the time, so I thought he was the chef. And I remember Chef Dave comes in and he was just like, so this is how we need to do things. And I'm just like, but Chef told me this is how he looks at me and he goes, listen, they're like, this is I don't know if this is gonna work, but this is what I would like. And I was like, are you the chef? He's like, who do you think I am? And I was like, I thought Chef Tom was a chef. Then he just laughed at that point. So but the Bywater was so good that I ended up working, opening up Manresa Bread in the morning and working at the Bywater in the morning and Manresa Bread at night for 5 months, just because I wanted to learn how they did that.
Got it. So you fell in love with dough.
Fell in love with dough.
Okay.
Yeah. Dough in New Orleans.
Yeah.
And after my internship was up, ended up moving to New Orleans.
Okay.
And was there for 6 months, and I hated it.
Really? Would you hate the weather?
The weather, The food wasn't as good as David Kinch's New Orleans food.
Ooh, chef, that's fucked up.
I get it, brother. I get it. Like I love my
That's
people in New
fucked up.
Orleans, but it was the best po' boy I ever had. Was not in New Orleans.
Okay. Damn,
The
David
best gumbo
Kinch
I
has
ever
the best New Orleans food.
That he can cook. That he can cook. Had the best gumbo, the best red beans and rice. It.
Damn.
Yeah.
Bold statement.
So that's why I was like, I think I love New Orleans. And I get to New Orleans, and it's just, it was not what.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
not what the doctor
95
ordered.
degrees, 100% humidity
bro.
at 6 in the morning.
Your ass is probably just red all the time.
It all the time.
Yeah.
all the time.
Chafing and shit. It's not for you, man. It's all right.
It wasn't.
Yeah.
So
you get the fuck out of there.
the-
Where'd you work while you were there?
Compare Le Pen.
Okay.
For,
Shit.
Nina Compton.
Classic.
Yeah.
Damn. All right. There you go.
And the chef that I worked with at Soul Bar got picked up to open up the Rosewood Miramar Hotel in Santa Barbara. He was just like, "Hey, you want to come be my sous chef there at the kind of it was the fine dining beachfront property?" And I was like, "Absolutely, I do."
Yeah.
And ended up moving there the next month, and I think I was like number 30 something in the company. My employee number was, and I was there from 2018 until COVID.
Mm-hmm.
Until COVID.
Damn.
And opened up the hotel. It was definitely one of the hardest jobs I've had.
Mm-hmm. Is it the hours? Is it the opening,
Hours.
the deadlines?
Hours, opening, deadlines. You're trying to find staffing that you can. You're gonna hire more people than you need because you know you're gonna cut people.
Right.
Guaranteed. By the time I left, 2 years later, the employees it was like 1,500 people had already gone. Just it was rough, but I mean
Damn.
they knew what they were doing. There's a reason they're one of the top hotels in the country right now, and House Chef got 1 Michelin star.
Damn.
Like that man knew what he was doing.
Mm-hmm.
But it was just rough. It was just rough.
It always is.
Yeah.
Opening fucking restaurants ain't easy.
No.
It's not for the faint of heart at all. And then imagine putting your all into this thing and then it fucking fizzles out and doesn't work, bro. That's crushing.
That'd be rough.
Yeah.
That'd be so rough.
Yeah, man.
But
A lot of people out here, they go through that every year. Hundreds of people. And like I feel even worse for the you can't go anywhere and try to open up a restaurant without someone finding out about it these days.
Mm-hmm.
You can't go and work at a spot and get your food right for 6 months before you're like, yo, the writers are coming. Now everything is like, oh, new chef, check out his spot. They judge you on the first 2 weeks of you being open.
It's like by the time you open, you better know what you're doing.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
it's ridiculous.
Chef
bro.
Miles up in Ontario.
Yeah.
I wonder how long he was working on the food that he's making right now.
Oh, dude, he's probably been working on that shit since China.
Yeah.
Since fucking,
Yeah.
it takes a long time, man, to get your food.
Yeah,
Like, be smart and make your food with other people's money.
absolutely.
Figure out how to fucking do
Absolutely.
it first before
Absolutely.
you go borrow a shit ton of money to open a restaurant. Because it's not even the food at that point. It's the fucking the plumbing and the electrical and the fucking this needs more. This needs a wall and this doesn't fucking pass the health inspection.
The
and
overhead.
It's man.
Yeah.
It's just like what the fuck, and the things just pop up, man, all the time. And so if you're not ready-
Linens, you gotta get all the linens right. Credit cards it costs you money too. Every time you swipe it, it costs money.
if you aren't ready to live that life, don't do it.
No,
You know,
no, you
definitely
better
not.
know what you're getting into
People are like,
before you say, "I
My
want a
passion.
restaurant." Yeah, that's rough.
God damn.
That's rough.
Yeah.
I'm glad-
The bank is like, sure, fucking here you go.
Yeah, that's rough.
Yeah. It's bad, man. They win whether you win or lose. So it doesn't matter. Keep opening up those shitty restaurants. You know. I think at the end of the day, it only opens up room for the restaurant that will make it in that space.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like it is what it is. You know. No love lost. It's just business,
Yeah.
unfortunately. So you come back from New Orleans. Where'd you go back to?
Santa Barbara.
Santa Barbara.
Yep.
Okay. You worked there for a little while, and then what are you doing then? What's Jason Grubbs
So
like?
COVID happens,
Gotcha,
and they furlough the resort.
Right.
And my partner and I ended up like, what are we gonna do?
Yeah.
And eventually make it to Denver,
Mm-hmm.
where my buddy Manny Barea, he was on this last season of Top Chef.
Oh shit.
Came out 5th.
Yeah.
Opened up his Mexican restaurant in Denver.
Mhm.
He was just like, "Hey, do you want to come? Help me out?" I was
Dope.
like, "Absolutely."
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, some of the best Mexican food. I didn't even know Mexican food could be like that.
Right.
And just because I never encountered the cuisine, the chilies, the acidity that they have,
Yeah.
it's way different than Italian. So he ends up getting nominated for James Beard, and he's famous from there on. So,
Damn,
yeah.
that's dope, man.
Yep.
Shout out
Yep.
to him. Fuck
So
yeah.
he's doing great. He's doing good. I end up taking a job as the chef de cuisine at an Italian restaurant in Denver,
Okay.
and
What's it called?
Il Posto.
Okay.
Yeah, and I was there almost a year, and
How was that? Your first time as CDC.
that?
What was your challenges when you first started? Like, what was?
So I feel in some places the CDC means one of two things.
Yeah.
It means that you're the head chef, and the executive chef is out doing his
Right.
Pope things.
Yeah.
You know, holding babies, kissing hands.
Right.
So you're running the spot, and then there's the executive chefs in there, and you're
His sous chef.
yes,
Basically,
yeah.
yeah.
This is the first time that I was running a restaurant.
Okay.
And you're trying to find out how to manage people.
Yeah.
What is your personal style of management?
Mm-hmm. While trying to manage yourself.
Yeah. And at the time, I was still trying to figure out what my food was. So it was difficult. I was always there.
Yeah.
Always there.
That's what a chef fucking does.
Yeah.
Just there.
And so that was the first time I encountered how I was trying to lead a kitchen. You learn that you can't yell at everybody.
Yeah.
Everyone's different, and it was hard. I'm not even gonna lie, it was hard. Made great food.
Did you lose people in the process?
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
oh yeah. And that was kind of where you have to figure out how you want to, or how you want to lead. Because when you lose somebody, you're hopping on the line.
Yeah.
Like, guess what, bro? You just ran them off. Now you're on the line.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to cook until you can find someone, train someone. Maybe they got to drop their 2 weeks at their other spot.
Right.
And so you're in that.
You
You're
pay
there for a
for it.
month. Yeah, you pay for it.
Mm-hmm.
Ended up having a little girl while I was there.
Yeah.
And so we ended up moving back closer to my family in Missouri.
Mm.
And ended up taking a executive chef job at a hotel in Columbia, Missouri.
Yeah.
And life just got harder.
Yeah.
Like, life just got harder. I had 5-6 food outlets,
Yeah.
a bakery, catering.
God damn.
Dude, it was rough. It was
Yeah.
so rough.
Was it worth the money?
No,
Mm.
no, not at all.
Yeah.
It was worth. While I was there, they wanted a barbecue restaurant opened up.
Right.
So it was worth the time I got to spend learning that skill. Was probably the thing that I brought out of there.
Yeah.
We didn't have an offset smoker. All we had was 2 double stacked rationale ovens, and that was how I smoked brisket, ribs. I didn't have the people. It was like no one there wanted to cook.
Mm-hmm.
It was super hard to find cooks. Everyone was methed out. Like, my second day there, I ended up having to fire 2 kids because they were on too much Percocet.
Mm-hmm.
One kid almost passed out into the fryer. And as I'm sitting there talking to him, the other kids just Like, no, bro, you're like this. You can't do this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For your own safety, dog.
Yeah. So
It's not a drug you do when you go cook.
No. Nope. We had other guys that instead of going down, they wanted to go up.
Right, yeah.
And he spent the entire time scrubbing the flat top. But it was the cleanest flat top I've ever had. But that's all he wanted to do.
Whatever gets him off, whatever.
Yeah.
Gotta make your people happy.
Mm-hmm. So that was there, and Tom ended up. Tom and I've been talking ever since I was at the Bywater. We'll send crazy text about recipes, things, food, and I saw that he was leaving Mentone.
Yeah,
and I was like, "What? Who's taking over?" He's like, "Dude, they're looking for people." I'm like, "Drop my name in." He's just like, "Oh, I'll drop your name in. You got to do the rest."
Yeah.
Like, cool. Not a problem. Ended up dropping my name. He's just like, send your resume to HR. Sent my resume to HR. I was there maybe 2 weeks later for a tasting.
Yeah.
And
would you cook, chef?
what did I cook for that? It was a
did you feed Kinch?
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So I'm nervous. I'm nervous.
Yeah.
It was so the vibe, the theme at Mentone. Mentone is where Italy and France meet on the Riviera, and so it is. He's looking for something his grandmother would cook, either Italian, French, and it's got to come off like one station. It can't be 3 different people on a pickup. We can't use 4 different pans for one dish. Simple, elemental, I would say, but it has to be rooted in like classic French or Italian.
Right.
And I didn't know anything about Liguria, so I'm reading everything that I could, downloading books on Kindle. And he ends up telling me to look at the Cuisine of the Riviera, and I can't remember the other name of it, but that's like the books we go to whenever we're trying to figure out the next dishes we're going to run. And I remember doing it was a steak tartare with Banyuls vinegar, and it was gaufrette potato chips. I did an octopus with, it was like a white bean soup, and celery hearts. It was a niçoise salad. And so I ended up having to fly because I didn't know what the kitchen was like. So I prepped everything out, or wrapped everything up. There was 6 people who were going to do the tasting. 2 of the octopus ended up getting smashed in my bag.
Ooh.
While I'm there, the rationale people end up knocking all my eggs for the niçoise salad onto the floor.
Oh.
My heart sinks. I'm just like, I came all the way out here. I was so upset, dude. I was so upset. And I did a panzotti with it was a spinach, ricotta, nutmeg filling, and a walnut sauce, which is traditional for Liguria, and finished it with a niçoise salad. And chef didn't say a lot. He was just like, "Chef, thank you so much for that. That was great." But he didn't tell me I did a good job. I didn't. He didn't critique it too much until later on, and he just comes up, shakes my hand, and he's like, "We'll be in contact." And he was just waiting for HR to do their thing and call me. So I remember I was at my hotel, and I was like, if I don't get the job, there was this pizza dive bar across the street. I'm like, I'm going across the street, and I'm getting laid out. Or I'm going to my favorite ramen spot over in San Jose if I get the job. HR calls me. They're like, we want to extend you the offer. You got the job. It's like, yes. Like, I'm going to get ramen.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Where's your favorite spot to get ramen?
Ramen Nagi.
Ramen Nagi.
Yep. in Santa Clara, and then there's one in Palo Alto.
Okay.
Go to the one in the Santa Clara, the Westfield Mall, because the line is not as long.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
There's a fucking insider tip there.
Yep.
So you get the job, you're fucking, you got to move your whole family over here now.
The whole family.
And your wife's like, fuck yeah, let's go.
I'm
sure she's pretty miserable.
She is, so she had her own bakery that she was pretty much baking out of our house, selling it at the farmer's market, and she had a crazy following there. Solid, great stuff. And so she ended up having to make the sacrifices to move with me to Santa Cruz.
Dope lady.
Yeah,
Fuck
absolutely. Rebecca, I love you.
So you're living in Santa Cruz now. How's that Santa Cruz life, baby? Beach is right there.
The beach is right there. There's always traffic. There's always it's a cement jungle.
It's hard to get around.
But I don't know, my style of cooking. I get to go to the farmer's market 2-3 times a week.
Okay.
And you can smell the peaches, you can smell the tomatoes when you get out of your car. So you know it's easy to put things on the menu when they're that good.
Right.
So yeah, it really it's much easier to cook in Santa Cruz than it is in Missouri. It just the quality of ingredients is it doesn't even compare to anywhere.
And people care about that shit.
And people do care.
The guest, yeah.
So,
damn. And how many seats is Mentone?
60.
60
right
seats.
About 60 plus the bar.
How many times you turning it?
We end up doing, if we hit, I think our max is 172.
Okay. That's busy.
We get So.
And so pizza, pasta.
We have garbage, and our saute is the station that gets the brunt of it. So
who's your saute cook right now?
Michael.
Young kid?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. 22, fiery.
22,
he's a spicy dude.
Need to be.
Yeah.
Shit.
But yeah, there's probably 13 dishes on that station. Yeah. So, help them out as much as I can.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
definitely. Is this set up for family style, like 3-course kind of thing?
It's we say it's family style, but they don't follow the guest, and it's we're trying to accommodate
one pasta
them
each.
You would think.
Yeah.
So, but So service is as many as we can sit.
Yeah.
Everybody get ready.
Yeah.
I'll see you on the other side.
I heard that. I heard that.
Yeah.
And, you're here now. Life is long. Fucking, you're going to be you're a chef. Man. Fuck, you made it, dude.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. And proud of you, bro.
It's been a ride. It's been a ride.
I saw your ass, I was like, you were whiter back then, probably because you didn't get no sun.
Absolutely.
And now you're living in Santa Cruz, looking vibrant and shit.
Barely.
It's all good.
Yeah.
What is your life goal? Like, what do you want to do? You want to have a restaurant?
I would probably team up with Rebecca and have a bakery in the morning. I don't want a big spot. Like I don't. The problem. Remember, Chef Kinch I was right there when he told Tom. It was just like it was about Tom being a sous chef. It was like the easiest thing you have to do now is cook.
Yeah.
Like if a day comes and all I have to do is cook, it's chill. Right. When you make sous chef, it should be the easiest thing you have to do. Managing people, all the problems people bring in.
Yeah.
Some people who aren't as dedicated to it as I would like them to be. It's just a paycheck for them.
The facts of life. Yeah.
Yes, it just how it is.
Yeah.
So trying to.
It's hard to teach kids that really care when you got like 4 or 5 people that are like,
yeah,
because they're like, but I think it's a good lesson for them to see that too,
for sure.
And every kitchen has them, even 3 Michelin stars. Like, so it's like you can't get away from it no matter where you go.
So you just kind of have to figure out. So when I'm coming up with dishes, or I have to think about the station, who's on the station,
Yeah.
what my prep cooks can do, what I can do.
Right.
Yeah.
You guys doing banquets or parties?
No banquets.
No
we
banquets,
do
no
some parties, but
Events?
not really.
Got it.
Yeah, we're a small. We got seven people plus me.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And then wait staff wise, how many you got?
There's plenty of servers. we have some solid. Chef brought a good many servers from. Is that me?
I think it might be. I'm not sure. Sorry. It's all good, baby.
Chef brought a good many servers from Manresa.
Yeah.
So they're just solid servers.
Dope.
Solid wait staff.
Dope.
So
Yeah, that's one of those schools, especially for front of the house.
mm-hmm.
It was a classic service, classic style.
Yeah.
Very brigade-like. And it's, I loved going to eat there. That was the shit. We went with the whole Meadowood crew. Like 2017 or some shit. Very cool. So would you open it here in California? If you can open your dream spot?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. This is expensive out here.
It's so
bro.
expensive.
You're fucking going down.
It's so expensive.
Yeah, for sure.
I would, and it more so. It's difficult to raise a family.
Yeah.
Out here, because down in Santa Cruz, gas is like $6 a gallon.
Mm-hmm.
There's traffic all the time. When I was in Missouri, had a 4-bedroom, 3-car garage, and I move out to Santa Cruz, and I've got a little bitty 2-bedroom apartment that kind of with a 19-month-old little girl.
Mm-hmm.
So Rebecca gets a little strung out from just having to stay in the little house.
Yeah, for sure.
A kid the whole time.
Yeah.
Daycare's super expensive. Daycare's impossible. I don't know how some of my cooks live there.
Mm-hmm.
It's that expensive.
Damn.
So
does anybody drive in from anywhere?
Oh yeah. So
Los Gatos is fucking expensive too.
One of the guys drives from San Jose.
Yeah. I mean, the balls on fucking Kinch. You be opening restaurants and places where people are like, you fucking crazy. Expensive as fuck, the real estate and shit.
But I mean, we charge for it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't make it, he made his name, bro. That's it.
Yeah.
Are you guys going to open up more Mentones, or do you think it's going to
that
really
I know there's talks about,
Mm-hmm.
but he's very, he knows what he's looking for, and it's cool to see because I mean everyone, hey chef, you want to open up this, open up that, but he knows what he's looking for,
Mm-hmm.
and he's just waiting for the right thing, I think.
Fuck yeah. So Jason Grubbs, how can they find you, bro?
It probably Instagram.
Okay.
At JB Grubbs.
JB Grubbs.
Yeah.
There you go, baby.
Yep.
Keep it simple.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck yeah, baby. CDC, Mentone, Santa Cruz, California. I haven't seen you in so long, and I'm proud.
You were at Charter Oak the last time I saw you.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. I was.
At that big.
The Horth.
Yeah.
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 That thing was crazy, dude. During COVID, we were fucking taking a blower.
To light it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
To just like keep it really hot.
Yeah.
Or like right before you see or something. It's just like, yo. Yeah.
It was beautiful.
Yeah. I didn't notice though. I blew a lot of ash into the dining room. It didn't matter because we took out all the chairs. It was empty, bro. Charter Oak was empty for all of COVID, like the dining room. And I would come in there and like fuck around, go in the freezer. We R&D dishes. Then we did like Meals on Wheels and Boys and Girls Club donations, but in like an empty Charter Oak.
Was it the outside dining? I remember like
outside dining open, but before then, like when we were still doing like to go only.
Yeah.
That dining room empty, and you're like running orders outside. Big ass empty room.
I mean, people doing anything just to keep.
For sure, yeah, man.
Anything.
Yeah. But we're through it now.
Yeah.
I think, so we just got to keep moving on.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna come eat at your spot.
Absolutely.
For sure. Dope having you on. Sucio Talk podcast. Jason Grubbs. Check it out. Fuck yeah. Oakland. How's it feel? First podcast.
Not bad.
Probably not going to be your last, bro.
We'll see.
What'll happen for you? You looking for James Beard or anything? Looking for some Michelins for yourself or what?
I think we might be up for the Bib Gourmand.
Ooh,
for next month.
Ooh, okay. So that means you get to go to the pot. Hey,
Maybe. We'll see.
bro.
We'll see.
No. This needs to happen right now, right here, right now. David Kinch, bring him to the Michelin party. It's a dope experience, and I think he should experience it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we'll post this shit online, and we'll see. Tag his ass. You know, one time, I'll tell you a funny David Kinch story. Fucking 12 Days of Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
I R&D'd a dish. I forget what the fuck it was, or it came off my station or something like that. And David Kinch ate it, and he was like, he comes back, me and Carl standing there, and he's like, I'm like, oh, how'd you like your meal? And he's like, I really like this one thing, and it was the thing I made.
Yeah.
Fucking Carl goes, oh, you really like that? I worked on that all day. Fucking David Kinch's like, oh, shit. And he's like giving him dab, and Carl's looking at me like, fuck you. I'm like, fuck you, man. But yeah, that's my Carl Alexander David Kinch story. Peace.